like to introduce Indigo Smittis, our Student Council Vice President, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Brooklyn.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please continue to stand or stand for the national anthem as you are ready.
Shoreview. Friends, family members, faculty, staff members, board members, and graduates, I am honored to stand before you this evening on this momentous occasion and welcome you to the graduation ceremony of 2025. Lionsgate would not be celebrating its 17th year without this community that surrounds these students tonight and throughout their time at our school. Included in this community are our dedicated board members who volunteer their time, knowledge, and experience to help make Lionsgate Academy the amazing school it is today. Our board representatives consist of our families, community, and staff, and includes our board chair, Ms. Ann Weiser, who is with us tonight over here, Eve Wolf, and Shayla Finsky. And then we also have Diana Odmondson, Drew Lee Tarnish, Connor Hayes, and Kim Boosie. Thank you for your service to our school. This celebration is not only to honor our graduates, but also to recognize individuals who have supported them throughout the years. I would like the teachers, service providers, educational assistants, and other staff who have joined us tonight to stand up. To the most influential people in your growth and development and families, I invite parents and caregivers of graduating students in the class of 2020 to stand and be recognized. Congratulations to all of you. I also want to acknowledge all the grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, and cousins of our graduates. We know that every member of the family has played a role in making the people they are today. Graduates, I'm speaking to you down there, brings a unique personality, a special spark, and it has been both a joy and a privilege to witness your growth over the past 6 years. Together, we've navigated through unexpected challenges, from distance learning to evacuating a smoke-filled building. You guys remember that? Yep. Eating what meal for lunch? You guys remember? Waffles. In the gym with syrup. It did not get messy in there. I was very proud of it. It was the only time it happened. And so many unforgettable moments in between. Through it all, your resistance, your resilience, spirit, and determination have inspired me. Serving as your principal has truly been an honor, and I want you to know I've learned from you. You've helped me grow, reflect, and become a better leader and human. I am so proud of each and every one of you. Your growth, your strength, and your potential are undeniable. I have no doubt that you will go on to do amazing things. The future is bright because you guys are in it. So with that, I would like to now present our senior student speaker and our senior class president, student council president, Paige Weber.
Hello, my name is Paige Weber, and before I begin, I want to let you know that this speech is going to be a mix of two things. One, a love letter to my classmates and Lionsgate, and two, an extended metaphor on box elder bugs. I promise, at the end, they'll mesh together in a somewhat satisfying way. With that said, our story starts in 2019. It was my first year at LGA, where I became part of the class of 2025. Back then, we were just 22 kids in a fairly brand new campus, and together, over the next 7 years, we grew to become 33 young adults. They each played an integral role in not only my growing up, but in how I've grown as a person. The truth is, we've witnessed crucial points in each other's stories, and we often played parts in them too. My fellow seniors, not only have you taught me lessons, you taught me how to be. And so, I dedicate this next part to you. Every one of you is overflowing with personality. So much so, it's the first thing I thought of when I started drafting this. You're full of humor and silliness, which always made my day so much more entertaining. In fact, because of you, I think I've laughed in each of my classes every single day. You're also stubborn in the best ways. You demand to be treated with respect. You teach me a lot about pigeons, you have the best one-liners, and you draw really good art. You're extremely talented directors, actors, and artists, which made our rehearsals so exciting. When you wanted a challenge, you took on PSCO, and when I needed it most, you reached out to me. And regardless of all of that, I know that each of you have made a lot of sacrifices just to be here in this moment. I noticed all of these traits because every day, each choice you made brought something to those around you. Every sentence spoken and action you took had influence. Whether it was the energy you brought or the patience you held or lack thereof, every comment, action, and intention, you could make or break someone's day. I'd be lying if I said we always got along, but you each gave me something I'll always carry with me, whether it be a best friend or just another life lesson. You helped me grow, and so, thank you very much. It's also Lionsgate that helped me grow into the person I am today. It's where I learned how to self-advocate and how to take care of myself. It's very different from the public school I came from, which wasn't really built for me. In a time where I needed the most support, academically and socially, I didn't have anyone in my corner. No one to teach me about my specific needs, or help me regulate my emotions, or teach me what the word overstimulation meant. And I couldn't ask for accommodations because I didn't know what those were. So, when I started middle school, I was in the business of denying my feelings and keeping my head down and doing anything to fit in. Living with that mindset proved to be very harmful for me, not only with my self-esteem, but with the treatment I accepted from others. But luckily, in tough moments, I had persistent support from Lionsgate staff. Anytime I was upset, a staff member offered to talk to me about it. When I was overstimulated, they taught me strategies, and all the while taking me seriously. I love Lionsgate as an institution, but it's obvious that its mission can only be executed by the people, and so I thank you very much. And now, I'm going to talk about box elder bugs. Anyone who stepped foot in the building during 2021 to 2023 knows what I'm talking about. Every other day, you could spot many of them crawling on the walls and on the windows, but not only did they live inside my walls, they lived in my heart. And so, in 10th grade, I started something called the Box Elder Bug Committee. The committee consisted of me and the friends I made in Pride, and when we should have been in Pride, we were running around handing out pamphlets we designed on Canva about the box elder bug philosophy, PNGs of box elder bugs, mostly about how all they wanted was shelter and sunlight, so we should have hurt them, you know? Anyway, I mentioned that story because I think it combines everything I like about Lionsgate. The whole situation, top to bottom, was extremely silly, and the bugs remind me of my fellow seniors, because listen, hear me out. Whenever I reached out, no one bit me. I wasn't bitten by you guys like some bugs do. Like, bees sting, you know. Don't look into the metaphor too much, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, Lionsgate, the walls we live inside of, gave us warmth. And that story marks the start of a very special time for me. Some of my memories with my first true friends. It took a lot of years and time of finding self-confidence to reach out, but when I did, it finally paid off. Anyway, once we've graduated high school, we get to choose where we spend our time and who we spend it with. You'll be entering new workplaces, clubs, and communities, so my main message is this: be decisive. In fact, be extremely picky. Find places where your needs are supported. Spend time with friends who truly care about you. Don't be afraid to advocate for yourself, and never be afraid to ask for more. To my fellow seniors, thank you for making my experience with LGA as great as it was. Not only did we grow up together, we grew as people. And I'm so proud of you. And we have a lot more growing to do. So let's take this next step together. Let's go graduate!
At that time, her Box Elder Bug Committee was formed. They also put up posters to save the box elder bugs around school. They were everywhere. I'm personally not a big fan of box elder bugs, but I do have a new appreciation for them. Next, I'd like to introduce our commencement addressee, John Miller. John Miller has worked his way through countless levels of the construction industry, starting as a laborer shoveling debris on job sites in the June of 1980. He then moved into distribution and in-home remodeling sales. 2020 marks his 27th year with North Star Associates Incorporated as an independent manufacturer's representative, focusing on exterior envelope building products. He is an accredited continuing education instructor, leading events for licensed contractors, Minnesota and Wisconsin, to stay current on their education credits. He speaks on the subject of building science at the International Builders Show. John is also a speaker, volunteering his time with technical students on the importance of positive engagement with people. John is passionate about family, church, and volunteers at many levels. He's a past council president at First Lutheran Church of Columbia Heights, Minnesota, and the current board chair of Crestview Senior Communities, a nonprofit senior community serving Anoka County. His wife, Mary Kay, and him have been married for 34 years, have 3 daughters and 1 son-in-law, Lindsay, Eric, Sarah, and Katie. The entire family are avid University of Minnesota fans. We'd like to welcome John Miller.
Just think, 40 44 years ago, I graduated from Iredale High School, where I was voted most likely to underachieve. And look at that, what she was right about. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm honored to be here tonight. This is a huge, huge deal for me to pay it forward and to give back. I will tell you that school was not easy for me. I'm dyslexic. And I will tell you that I struggled in school. And in the first grade, my mother made a bold decision and held me back to repeat first grade. Very painful at that age. But here I am, 62 years old, and almost 6 decades later, I'm so grateful that she did that. Because it points me in the right direction, and it taught me how to handle challenges. Margaret Larson, one of the great mentors in my life. Margaret Larson was my tutor at Pike Lake Elementary School here in New Brighton. And Margaret Larson made a huge impact on me. She would say, "You're not dumb, you're smart. You just got a problem, and we're helping you with it." Took me years to forgive my mother. But my mother passed away in February, and I am just so grateful, deeply grateful for it. In her eulogy, I talked about this part of my story. I will tell you that learning was not important to me until it became relevant. One of the biggest stories and the first time I realized that I needed to learn was I was 18 years old on a job site, and they handed me a tape measure. And I couldn't read a tape measure. And I thought, I should have paid attention when I was in school. I will say this much about my career. If you show up ready to learn, and you exceed their expectations, the next deal will fall in your lap. My whole career has stories of opportunity falling in my lap. What you want to find is you want to find people to start talking about you. And if you can get people to talk about you, that's when the opportunities come up. I always look at LinkedIn and I see that I had 30 reviews or 30 views in a week, and I'm thinking something good's going to happen. A new contract's coming to my company. It's a big deal. Opportunity knocks and you will go far if you're ready, engaged, and ready to contribute. Not everything goes well. Not everything goes perfect. And I will tell you, it's the challenges that point me in the right direction. It's not the successes, it's the challenges. I will tell you, the guiding principles in my life revolve around honesty, integrity, courage to stretch and grow, and transparency, accountability, team focus, owning the relationship, and letting my light so shine. All we have in this world is our word. And once you compromise your word, everything else is suspect. Think of the people in your life when they say they're going to do something, you think, that probably won't happen. And then there are other people in your life where they say they're going to do something, you think, I can put book on that. It's going to happen. What do they say about you? Today's the day, now's the time to focus on honesty, integrity, courage, transparency, accountability, teamwork, relationships, and let your light so shine. Everybody is dealt a bad hand. It's not the cards we're dealt, it's how we play them that count. And I will tell you, one of the galvanizing moments in my life happened on September 19th, 2001. 8 days after 9/11, I was in an airplane, a small airplane with one of my business partners, and we ended up in a cornfield because of a mechanic's problem. I broke both of my feet and my back in that accident, and the FAA gave that accident a 5% probability of survival. It's the galvanizing moment of my life. I wouldn't wish this experience on my worst enemy, but I wouldn't take it away from me. It's the galvanizing moment of my life. So, think about how do you pay it forward? And I think that my life was spared 24 years ago for moments like this. Be kind, be open, ready to learn, be ready to grow, be honest, give back, show up mentally, ready, engaged, ready to go into the game, and make somebody else's day. Enjoy the ride, cherish the experience, learn from mentors, exceed their expectations in your personal life, your academic life, and your professional life. If you follow these simple instructions, you will go far. Thank you. I've truly enjoyed this.
All right, I'm Ryan Restaurant. I'm the interim executive director for Lionsgate. I welcome you here. And now it's time for the staff tributes.
So this is where we maintain some of our 4Bs on being flexible. One of our graduates, we're trying to get them in. So they're going to work on that. For right now, why don't we continue with the next person coming in? And then as we do at school, if they get to a good spot, we'll have them come up as they come up. So, with your programs, we may not be in alphabetical order, and that is okay. So, this is a great tradition that we have as well, where the students select a staff to speak on their behalf. And so, to meet our student needs, as I was saying, we're going to be doing our center-based students first. So if you guys could maybe do our sign language applause with some of them. Yep, we can practice. That'd be amazing. Thank you.
I'll be doing a speech for Eli Benson. Good evening, everyone. I wanted to take a moment to share a few words about someone's very special to me. Eli and I met back in 7th grade. One of the first things I learned about him was how much he loved music therapy. It brought him so much joy. We went through COVID together, which wasn't easy for anyone, but then we found ways to laugh and have great times. Over the years, I got to see him grow so much. He started doing more things and taking on new challenges. He always showed up to class with a smile that could brighten the whole room. And then there was something so simple but so meaningful. Whenever he would say hi to me, no matter what kind of day I was having, he would instantly make me smile and others. He was truly a light in so many lives, including mine, and I'm grateful I got to know him. Good luck on your new adventures. And I have a quote. He has always seen doors, not as barriers, but as invitations to explore. And now as one door gently closes behind him, we know another is already swinging wide open.
I apologize, I'm probably going to cry during this. But we have a man coming down, and I've had the pleasure of working with him for the last 3 years. In this time, I've seen him grow into an amazing person. Once he brings you into a circle of trust, he isn't afraid to show it. Just this morning, we were crossing paths. He stopped, turned around, and opened his arms for a hug. As if he was saying, "Thanks for everything you've done. I got it from here. We're good. He is a very caring soul and will brighten your day when you see him throughout the building. I am confident in saying that Ahmad will be missed, but we wish all the best for him next year. And as we get him coming down the stairs here, I just ask that you please hold your applause so we can get him across the stage. Now presenting Ahmad Jaber.
My name is Libby Christian, and I am the supervisor of our center-based program, but I have also had the pleasure of case managing Miss Bell for the last 2 years.
And I'm Courtney McGinty. I'm the center-based PA supervisor. I met Bell in 2020 during COVID. All the staff had to wear hats, gloves, masks, everything, every day. But Maribel wanted no part of that. She ripped everything off. That's when I knew I was going to be best friends with Belle.
And I met Belle in 2021 when I was pregnant with my daughter, about 7 months pregnant, and Belle would hang out on her knees in the classroom, clapping along, watching everything go on, and I could not walk past her without giving her a hug, 7 months pregnant and all. And this is just a perfect example of how Belle forms relationships.
Whenever I hear a Moana song or a Whitney Houston song, I will always think of Maribel. We would always have to clap along and sing along. It brightened up the whole room.
Maribel is quite the celebrity in our school. Whether it's smiling at everyone, faking us out with her hugs, or just her presence in the hallway, Belle is sure to make her love known. The hallways will not be the same without her.
There are so many good memories with Belle, but my favorite is when we went to the lake and she walked right into that water and all the little sunfish came and nibbled at her feet. And her face just blew up. And also, I can't forget about all the back scratches and all the arm scratches Belle demands of everybody.
Which we've all been getting while we've been waiting, by the way. And if you know Maribel, you know that she loves to go on CBIs or field trips. Watching Maribel grow so much from not joining us on CBIs to practically jumping in the van has been beautiful to watch. Maribel, you have grown so much over the years, and it has been so great to be able to watch that.
All right.
Now introducing our dancing queen, Maribel Valentia. Oh, thanks for the tissues, sir.
So, I first met Max in 2022, and over the last 3 years, I have seen him grow into a strong, caring, independent young man. There are a few things that you can rely on for Max. One is his amazing dancing skills here. He loves to party and just dance it up. He also will reorganize anything you have organized in his way for free. And the third thing you can count on him for is making sure all your doors are closed. Don't have to leave the house without the doors closed. And it's really rough when someone accidentally burns some popcorn and you're trying to air out the popcorn smell, Max. And then lastly, his love of Harry Potter. We have these hanging up outside of one of our other case managers' rooms, and every time we walk by, he's just got to point out everything on the posters and won't leave until you make sure they're noticed. Sorry, I am losing my spot. But I know that Max is moving on to do bigger and better things, and we are just so proud of him, and he will be sorely missed because I know we'll all miss his practical jokes. Now introducing Max Bell.
Alright, hi, me again. Alright, I'm gonna do a speech for Ben Stockwell. He's currently unavailable right now. But before becoming a supervisor, I was an EA and got lucky enough to be paired with Ben. And we've been buddies ever since. Ben has made so many friends at LGA that everyone has their own little script with him. One of the many things Ben loves is water towers and taking pictures. There isn't a water tower I pass by, and I don't think of Ben. He's a huge buck dedicated just to water tower pictures. One of my favorite memories is during distant learning, and everyone went around to find a water tower to show to Ben over the computer screen. Ben, I'm very proud of you. I will miss you very much, and LGA is not going to be the same without you. At the end of each day, students gets dismissed by bands. Ben and I have this thing where Ben will take my walkie-talkie and I would dismiss him over the talkie. But today, I would like for the very last time over this microphone to dismiss Ben. Without further ado, now dismissing Ben Stockwell.
Hello everyone, thank you for being here tonight. My name is Trevor and I'm one of the school social workers at Lionsgate. I did not work with Armand as a social work student, instead I worked with him in the fitness center. During our time in there, Armand performed many incredible feats of strength, and most impressive of all probably was when he held a plank for 15 minutes, all while his younger brother Aaron harassed him pretty much the whole time. Over the past 2 years, Armand and I have bonded by lifting heavy weights together, teaching each other new things, and sharing many laughs with the other staff and students in the fitness center. Shout out Mr. Erickson. Armand, when you asked me to speak for you, it was a great honor. You are someone who is kind, compassionate, and a leader in your community. You're also someone with maybe the best fashion sense Lionsgate has ever seen. Finally, I would consider you to be someone who embodies the word tenacity in every fiber of your being. Your work ethic is something I admire greatly. After graduating from high school, Armand plans to continue working and attend Normandale College with hopes of becoming an architect someday. Armand, as you begin the next chapter of your life, I just want to remind you not to compare yourself to others, to stop, enjoy the little things, and to always lift heavy weights. Folks, I present to you our newest graduate, Armand Bajula.
Hi, I'm Haley Kahn. I am speaking for Evelyn here. I was Evelyn's EA and teacher at Lionsgate Academy. When I first was at Lionsgate, I started as an EA. I remember being so nervous, taking a deep breath. Before entering the class I was assigned to work in on my first day. Shout out Miss Nelson if you're out there. Evelyn was the first face to greet me, and with a big smile. Sorry.
That's who Evelyn is. She's courageous, kind, and is who she is unapologetically. Deep breath, Evelyn. Evelyn can make anyone feel welcome in a space by going up to them or asking them to join her. Evelyn can make any moment fun, whether it's dancing to TikTok songs or starting an impromptu karaoke session to a Taylor Swift album. Evelyn can go up to anyone, and I mean literally anyone, and tell them to chill out, and they will listen to her. She is driven and brave, and when she wants to do something, she will do it. Because I am her transitions teacher, we've talked a lot about what Evelyn wants to do when she goes through life. Evelyn's talked a lot about being a mechanic or a bus driver, but the biggest thing that you need to remember, Evelyn, is just keep being you. Continue to walk through life and in the rooms with your kindness and sass. Continue to be brave and do what you want to do without judgment or worry. Thank you, Evelyn, for making my life and LGA brighter, and I am so excited to see where life takes you. I now present 2025 graduate Evelyn Beck.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan Jackson. Around Shoreview, you may know me better as Miss Culprit. I'm the school-based therapist at Lynx and have had the pleasure of knowing Micaiah for the last 5 years. Now, I don't fully know what I'm the culprit of, and Micaiah's never been able to share with me what that is. So I thought maybe I'd turn it back around to her and let her know what she has been the culprit of for these many years. So, today we celebrate not just a graduate, but the culprit. The one responsible for so many unforgettable things. She's the culprit behind the infectious laughter that brings a smile to many faces, the culprit of someone who brings light into a room without even trying. She's the culprit of loyalty to her preferred staff, of resiliency in the face of challenging times, of showing up even when it was hard. And now she's the culprit behind making us all just a little bit more hopeful about the future. To the girl who's called me the culprit over these many years, but who is actually the real culprit here, especially of making an impact that can never be measured. We are so proud of you. Keep being the amazing culprit that you are. Congratulations, Micaiah. Now, presenting Micaiah.
Hi, me again. My tissue is seeing better days, truly. I'm obviously Haley Kahn, and as you know, I started as EA. I was Leah's EA, I was also Leah's case manager, and also her teacher. A fun fact about Leah is she did not like me when we first met. I'm talking mumbles under her breath, not coming to class, complete avoidance of me altogether. And this is not to make fun of you, Leah, because at this point it's hilarious. The root of the reason Leah did not care for me was because of not who I am, but because she does not favor change. I was a new person, a new teacher that replaced her old beloved teacher. Shout out Miss Nelson again. As time went on, Leah and I began to warm up to each other as most student and teacher relationships happen. I wasn't sure where I was on Leah's list of top fave teachers, but I was hoping I was climbing the list just a little bit. As some of you know, I broke my leg in 2023, which ended up having me not return for the remainder of the school year. That was also the cursed day that we had to evacuate the school, also, just well everyone. The only time I was ever really able to visit was during school-hosted events like the school play. That year, I was able to make it, and after the show, when I congratulated Leah on her performance, she cried and she said she missed me so much. That went on to be one of my top favorite memories as a teacher, and solidified that Leah liked me at least a little bit. Leah is now faced with many changes to come, but no matter what, I believe she will make it. She has a spectacular family who supports her no matter what. And she's shown that she can push through anything. No matter what changes come, Leah, remember that you can do it because you always have and you always will. I now present 2025 graduate Leah
Bloom.
Good evening, everyone. Today, I have the joy and honor of speaking about the incredible Mr. Elijah Brown. Though that's not Though that's not actually usually what I call him. In fact, Eli and I have had a pretty impressive run with creating different nicknames for each other over the past 6 years. 6 years. For example, when you started 7th grade at Lionsgate and we began working together, I only knew you as Elijah, and you only knew me as Miss Harris, the EA. We ended up being scheduled together quite regularly, which meant lots of time in our week was spent taking movement breaks between classes. We always opted for basketball while listening to the Space Jam theme song, at which point you became E.B. Jordan and Mr. Nothing But Net, and I became Space Jam Harris. Fast forward a few years to you being Eli the high schooler. High schooler, yep. And by that point, I had become Harris, your transitions teacher, which gave us a lot more time. Yeah. Which gave us a lot more time together spent in the community and in the ILL kitchen. You even helped plan and present a spaghetti dinner. Spaghetti sauce. Yep. For your peers and staff that year. At which point, our Lynx community nicknames began to embody the phrase, "You are what you eat." Spaghetti Harris, Ravioli Eli. I know we've got garlic bread Miss Grenz around here somewhere. I could go on and on. And in a way, we did go on and on, as we still often use these nicknames to share a good laugh reminiscing. And now this year, you are Eli the senior. Eli the class helper, Eli the good role model to your peers, Eli the leader. So many other names, but none of them can quite capture how much you have grown and learned since you first started at Lionsgate. You've made this school better. You've made me a better teacher and a better teammate. This to call back to our Space Jam basketball breaks, buddy. The world is your Space Jam. It's your chance. Do your dance. Congratulations. I present to you all Mr. Elijah the Graduate Brown.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Forrester. I am a math teacher at Lionsgate. I've known River for, 5 years now. Been the entire time I've been there, I've known River. He's always been a bright spot in my day. He always smiles, he always asks how I'm doing, he wants to talk in the hallways. My favorite memory of River, he's a leader amongst his peers. And when I was student teaching, every now and then I would have to, obviously teach the class. And there was a group of rowdy boys, and River was a part of the group. However, in order to get them back in line, I would use a certain voice. And do you remember what you called that voice, River? This was 2 or 3 years ago, and I actually used this in my interview in order to become a teacher. I'm like, well, the boys all know that I have a dad voice that I can use if I need to get them back in line. So River has always just been very, like I said, a leader and very fun to watch and just help. He's always asked for help. He's always advocated for stuff we ever needed. He's always felt comfortable around me to ask for help. And I just wish you all the best. He is going to AIM next year after he leaves Lionsgate Shoreview to continue just pursuing what his passions are and what his future is going to hold. I want to hold you to task, River. Do not give up on your dreams. Do not give up on what you want to do. It's up to you now. You have to be strong, you have to be resilient, you have to show up and do what you got to do. Now presenting class of 2025, River Club.
Hello, my name is Liz Benke, and I have had the pleasure of being J. Marie's theater teacher and director for the past 3 years. I first met Jay when she came to audition for The Little Prince, and was blown away by the strong choices she made as a performer, and the rich character that she created for that production. Little did I know, this was only the beginning. Jay embodies a theater kid, heart and soul. I have never seen a more engaged audience member when going on field trips to professional theater. She is moved so deeply by songs and by storytelling. She creates engaging characters and detailed stories in playwriting class, exploring deep human themes and topics with grace. I will definitely miss her dedication and her creative spirit, gracing not only the stage, but our theater classroom. It has been an absolute joy to watch her explore different creative endeavors, and I cannot wait to see where her passion and spirit take her next. Presenting class of 2025, J. Marie Doffenbach. Hola, my name is Marissa Gustafson, and I will be speaking on behalf of Henry Deeb tonight. If you don't know Henry, I hope you leave today knowing just one thing. Henry is pretty cool. En la clase de español, students can choose to be called by their English name or by a Spanish one. In our clase de español, we know Henry as Dios. He manages to pull off a name meaning God in Spanish. If you can't tell yet, Henry's pretty cool. In Peru, he got a new nickname from our local guide. The phrase from his t-shirt that said, El mejor padre del mundo. That means the best father in the world. If you can't tell yet, Henry's pretty cool. In advanced Spanish this year, we did a virtual exchange program with other students in the US and Mexico. In just a few video calls, Henry managed to leave quite the impression on the other students. They enjoyed learning about his jiu-jitsu hobby, and one student even chose Henry out of everyone to draw a sketch of. My gift to Dios today is this sketch mailed to us by the student from that school. At the top, we have Henry's name and a pair of hearts. And at the end, she tells him, I hope you like it, with another heart. And P.S., this is my Instagram if you want to let me know when you see this. If you can't tell yet, Henry's pretty cool. When everyone was saying goodbye in our final video call, we were surprised to hear a large group of people all saying, Bye, Henry! Can't tell yet. If you can't tell yet, it's easy to love Henry. We will miss Dios immensely at Lionsgate, and I will never forget him because every time I say goodbye in Spanish, I'm also saying his name, adios. Today, we are saying adios to Dios. I'm hoping you all will give Dios the adios he deserves. Together, before we applaud Henry for his accomplishments, we're going to count, 1, 2, 3. And everyone willing and able can wave and say, adios, Dios. ¿Sí? Okay, vámonos. 1, 2, 3. Adios, Dios. Now presenting Henry Deeb.
Hello, my name is Amy Schaefer, and I'm here on behalf of Kinsey. Kinsey, I'm going to start with a quote. that I frequently refer back to in my own life. I hope it sparks something in you, if not today, in your future. The quote is from an infamous 1980s movie, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Many in the audience will know it, students won't. But if you haven't seen it, you should. The quote is, "Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it." Kinsey, when you walked into the doors of Lionsgate over 4 years ago, I'm sure graduating was the last thing on your mind. Yep, fast forward and here we are. When you walk through the doors tonight, you will be a high school graduate with time and space to fill. Time and space that is not outlined by ADs and B-days and weekends and school breaks. You are now in charge of the choices you make with your time each day. It is a blank canvas. When thinking about a blank canvas as a metaphor for your future, I thought about all of the sketching I have witnessed you doing over the years. My advice for you is to take the skills you use when creating your artwork and use them to live your life with intention. To learn more about your process, I talked with your art teacher, Miss Fulton, who told me that when you draw, you often pause a video of a character you are sketching. Then you create your image by focusing on your craft, paying attention to detail, and making a drawing out of small hand movements and drawing tools. In life, the days will sometimes feel long and tedious, performing similar perpetual actions day to day, whether you're working, going to school, or hanging out. But time really does go by quickly, like these past 4 years, and life is ephemeral. So like you do in drawing, don't forget to pause and pay attention to the small things. Finding meaning in life is more about appreciating and looking at the small interactions and parts of your days, and less about the bigger or momentous things, like a new car, a job, those type of things. Time really does go by quickly. Please make the best of it. One way to do this is to incorporate reflection in your life, stopping every now and then to look at your actions and in determining if they are reflective of the life you want. Do they reflect your values? Are there changes you want to make? And if there are, go ahead. There's always time to do this. Only you can create your best life, however that may look. Using your art as a symbol of life, just like you use a sketch pencil and other art tools to create art, use the tools you have learned at LGA, as well as the tools you will acquire as you go about your life. As you leave tonight, the blank canvas is ready to be filled. May your picture match the truth and aspirations. I now present Kinsey Depew Porcello.
Hello again. Jake Felland. First thing that comes to mind when I think of Jake is passion. He has some his interests are, he loves so many things, but each year seems to be one in particular. Do you remember the first year? What you asked me every day as I was on SRT. He asked me about a sand in a bucket. Do you remember the sand in the bucket? Yes. The next year, we moved on to laundry detergent. That is passion. Every day he asked about what laundry detergent. Sometimes still he'll ask what laundry detergent we're using because he loves doing laundry. The next year, what was the next year? The big one. Mowing grass and lawn. He loves being outside, he loves mowing grass, he loves doing that stuff. So he would always ask what kind of lawnmower I had. Or how to repair lawnmowers and things like that. And this year he's moved to a different passion. Every weekend, what do you do, Jake? Go to the movies. So every weekend, every week he'll come in and ask me if I've seen the latest movie, or if I've seen this movie, or I've seen that movie. And we have great conversations about, his passions, what he loves. That's what I love about Jake. He's very passionate, and he knows what he likes, he knows what he wants. Which is why he is not going to a transition program. He has already got jobs lined up to do over the summer. And he's been working for a few years now. He's held jobs at Lionsgate. We have a little internship job that he did for a while. And he's been working at McDonald's, and he works at a water park. Yeah, works at a water park. So he's got plans for the summer to work, and he's not sure where it's going to lead, but he knows he loves working, and he's got a great work ethic, and I just have all the best hopes and know that you're going to succeed at whatever you do, because you do everything to the fullest and to your best ability. So presenting 2025 graduate, Jake Bell.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a while, so just look at that. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Kruger. I'm one of the building substitute teachers at Lionsgate. And there are a few people I have met that have the raw, unfiltered love of life that Drew Fort has. Whether it is something new and interesting in a video game, a twist in a story in alternative RPGs, or even finding out something interesting about somebody else, Drew's excitement will always show through. And when Drew loves something, he loves it in a big, loud, and excited way. Much like that. There's a lot we can learn from Drew about this. So often in life we feel compelled to control ourselves, to not truly show everything we're feeling. In many cases, being more subdued is expected. We get scolded for being too loud or too big, or for not knowing whether it is an appropriate time to feel big and feel openly. While there are many times we do need to put a damper on ourselves for social reasons, I find Drew's love of his interests to be inspiring. Often I wish I would be able to get just as excited about the things I love and show it as fearlessly as Drew does. The other side of the coin, however, is that Drew is also pretty open about the things he doesn't like. As much as he wears his love of things, he is also not quiet about the things he dislikes. I don't find this to necessarily be a problem, other than when one needs to perhaps hide exactly what one is feeling due to the expectations people have. To you, Drew, I offer this advice. Keep loving things as hard, loudly, and deeply as you do. That excitement for what life has to offer can truly be a force that can help drive you through some of your toughest times. For the things that are tough, the things that you don't want to do, or you don't see why you need to do them, do them anyway. No one said you couldn't complain the entire time. And if that is the difference between completing something or not, then complain, yell about it, mutter to yourself, let those frustrations out, but do the thing. Life is full of little dumb stuff you have to do, and let me tell you, friend, as you get older, you get to deal with more and more of it. Those dumb little things like chores, obligations, the work you don't want to do, but have to, those things are secretly the things that pave the road to a happy life. They often aren't fun when you have to do them, but things are better if you do. I hope that as you grow, you never lose your enthusiasm for what is important to you. I also hope you learn to find value in the things that don't feel as important or feel annoying. I know that you can work hard if given enough reason. So my final piece of advice, Drew, is this. Be your own reason for working hard. Be the one that makes yourself do those obnoxious little things you're not excited about. Before you know it, those things will feel as normal as brushing your teeth, just part of what life is. You don't have to like the hard stuff. You get to complain the whole time if you need to, but you still need to do those things if you really want to find success. I have nothing but faith in you, Drew. And as long as you are willing to do the hard work, I know you will find success in your life. And I know that you are going to know exactly how to enjoy that success. It is my honor, pleasure, and privilege to present to you Andrew Fort.
And I'm a space manager. When I met River, we didn't really see each other unless I was subbing 3 years ago. 2 years ago, I began solely teaching ELA to the whole program. River absolutely hated my class. He told me multiple times, still brings it up. He would skip my class, but then when I was on prep or had a free moment, he would always seek me out to take him on a break. His reasoning for hating ELA, it wasn't me, but he didn't like the series of unfortunate events. This year, he has enjoyed coming into the resource room and hanging out and missing class. There are many times I needed to make up an excuse to leave, so I had to force him to go back to class. River, I have seen you mature so much in the last 3 years. Now that you've reached a huge milestone, graduation. Graduation is not just the end of a chapter, it is a testament to your perseverance, dedication, and intellectual growth. I have confidence that you will bring those life lessons that you have learned with us in the future. True success is shown in your character, kindness, and the impact that you have on those around you. One last piece of advice from me, be true to yourself. You can and should try things that make you uncomfortable, but don't lose what you truly value and who you are. Know your limits and stick with them. As the wise words of your favorite music artist, you are the only one who gets to decide who you will be remembered for. It's my pleasure to introduce River Gallagher.
Good evening, my name is Miss Erica. I am one of the building subs at Lionsgate Academy. This year I have had the privilege of being covering for the high school transitions teacher. So I have had Franco for half a year. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, Franco, even though all my peers said to me, this is an amazing kid. At first I didn't see it. I'm sorry, I didn't. I was like, what do you mean this is an amazing kid? He's hardly here, but hey, you're here today. Wow, we made it, Franco. Hey everyone, Franco's here today. Half a year, I've had you in class, and I've watched you go from a student who is still learning to figure out what's going on in this world and how to navigate it, to a young adult who sees how big the world is and understands that they have to be responsible to make their dreams come true. I've watched you advocate for yourself. I've watched you come to me and say, Miss Erica, what can I do to be better? I didn't find you, you found me. And you listened, and I watched you grow, and it has been one of the greatest pleasures that I've had to see this year. You finally getting it. You investing in yourself and going, if I want my dreams to come true, I am going to have to do more than just show up. And you did. And not only did you do that for yourself, I watched you do that for your peers. I watched you build the people around you up even when you were exhausted and tired and struggling yourself. And you should feel really good about that, because that is not something that is easy to do, and that is not something that everyone can do. And you made it look effortless. I can't wait to see what you do after this. I have not a doubt in my mind that you will be able to achieve your dreams. You will succeed. Because you now understand that when you invest in yourself, when you advocate for yourself, and when you see the world for how big, beautiful, difficult, and challenging it can be, that does not stop you from achieving the things that you want. I'm so proud of you. You should be proud of you. Because this wasn't something I did. This wasn't something that just us did. This is something you did. And without you, it would have all fallen apart. So, enjoy this moment. Enjoy all this. It's going to feel like a whirlwind. But you'll always remember it. I promise you will. And reach for those dreams. Go out and get them because you deserve them. So I present to you, 2025 graduate, Josh Garcia Trezick.
My name is Mallory Kosher, and I've had the pleasure of being Raina's teacher and gen ed advisor for the past 5 years. Raina, I thought about opening my speech talking about how when you started here you were unsure and apprehensive, and how you've grown into a strong, independent leader and young adult. I could mention how you're incredibly resilient, or I could even share how you care deeply for your family, but I remembered that you told me not to get too nice. And then I thought I could open with us all chanting, Raina. But you ditched that idea Tuesday on our way home from Topgolf, and I was told not to be too mean. So then I thought I could share a bunch of your leadership roles and accomplishments, like pitching the idea of Alice in Wonderland and having it being accepted as the all-school play, or being the student director for the past 4 years. I could mention how you've been an active part of the Leo program and student council, but I think where I'm going to settle is talking about your competitive spirit. For anyone that knows Raina, you also know that she is always looking for the next competition. Whether it's a class Kahoot, designing a logo, or participating in a Pokemon trivia for the LGA News, Raina is always trying to win, even if it means finding a loophole or negotiating with others. This spirit brings with it enthusiasm, engagement, pure fun, and if you're lucky, Raina's boisterous laugh. Raina, as you transition into your internships and next phase, I encourage you to take this spirit with you. Understand that your competitors are your best teachers. Learn from them. Remember that competition is fun, but comparison is the thief of joy. Use that spirit to continue to compete with yourself to do 1% better each day. To bring yourself closer to your goals and aspirations. Your fiercest competitor will be the voice in your head, questioning you and whispering, you can't do it. But always remember, you win when you say, yes, I can. It has been an honor to know you and teach you. I now present Raina Paris Jacob.
Good evening. My name is Ben Barnes, and I've had the honor of teaching Dylan Johnson for 4 years, and now I speak on his behalf. Dylan wanted to thank a few staff first. Amy Schaefer, for being his case manager, has been just so helpful in his success. Secondly, Mr. Freeman helped improve his basketball skills and helped me become a Timberwolves fan. I am thankful to speak on behalf of Dylan, partly because he's not one to brag about himself, so I get to. He is a man of few words, so I will take this opportunity to share a few about him. Dylan is a great student. He shows so much effort and willingness to try new things, such as being the light board operator for the school play for the past 2 seasons, as well as getting out of the comfort zone and making very fine art with Miss VDP. Dylan also has a very sly sense of humor. He's not one to tell jokes in class, but I can see that signature smile anytime he finds a joke funny by a peer, and occasionally by me. Dylan has not volunteered much to say over the years in class. However, whenever I call on him, he always has an answer ready. Dylan has put forth effort in everything that has come forward so far. I wish you could teach me and others how much effort that you put into things. If you bottled it up, you would make $1 million selling your effort. You are always willing to work with classmates. You are partnered. You will go far in life with your willingness to partner with others, stepping out of your comfort zone and making your effort. Let me leave you with this quote. You're a big sports fan, so I found one. Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. That's from the soccer great Pele. You have these skills. Go find something that you love. I look forward to hearing about all the things you will be doing from here. Good luck next year in AIM, Congratulations. I now present Dylan Johnson for graduation. Lionsgate Academy.
Alright. Bear with me, I'm not as good with words as Bridget is, but here we go. My name is Regina Reggie Gamer, and I have had the honor and pleasure of being the classroom EA for the theater department where Bridget thrives as a performer. In the past couple weeks, it has been a struggle to encapsulate Bridget in 60 to 90 seconds, and realistically, this speech does not fully encapsulate Bridget, but I reached out to a few other staff, and this is what they'd like to say. I had Ms. Gustafson reach out and say, I will miss Bridget teaching us about word origins and connections that we never previously considered. Bridget helped our class grow immensely in our understanding of cultures and history through language. Mr. Harms had said the thing I enjoyed most about Bridget was their ability to take a question, topic, and/or answer and make it fit their different perspectives. For example, if needing to find an argument topic they felt comfortable writing about or wasn't clicked or boring, they chose who would win in a fight. A million lines are various Pokemon characters. All of them. Miss Liz said, Bridget is one of the most dedicated artists that I've taught. They put so much detail into each artistic endeavor, which I have seen, and it has been a joy to see what they create on and off stage. As for me, I'll miss all of the random questions or topics that we would discuss in class, and although you're leaving LGA, I feel confident that you'll find your way through life and do an incredible job wherever you go. To end this speech, I'd like to use my favorite quote from Bridget that I use on a day-to-day basis. All done. I now present 2025 graduate, Bridget Keenan.
My name is Mia Van Hurt. I teach art at the high school. Well, yeah, this one's good. Sorry. All right. I'm presenting Lucas Kozar, and I'm really excited to tell you more about him. When he first came to Lionsgate, he was pretty quiet. He was full of creative ideas, but hadn't really figured out how to bring them out into the world. And over the years, I've watched him not only share those ideas, but build them thoughtfully, precisely, and with an impressive sense of curiosity. Lucas is deeply self-motivated. When there weren't enough students to run a pre-calc class at school, he didn't let that stop him. He took the course online so he could keep moving forward in math. That same drive shows up in so many areas. On his own, he explored the limits of what's possible with Scratch, using it to sharpen his coding skills by building video games from the ground up and constantly pushing the boundaries of that program. He's also an incredibly detail-oriented artist, a strength that comes through not just in his creative work, but in the thoughtful, methodical way that he tackles problems. One of my favorite early memories of Lucas is when he became the first student I ever saw speed solve a Rubik's Cube. And not only that, he introduced me to all kinds of unusual and complex cubes, like the Phantom Cube, and actually inspired me to start challenging myself to solve one too. That's just who he is. He's someone whose curiosity is contagious and whose passion for learning quietly inspires the people around him. One place where Lucas's leadership really stood out was in our 3D printing OBI. When we first started, I honestly didn't know what I was doing. I still don't really have a grasp on it, and I relied on the other staff in the room. But when they were busy or absent, Lucas stepped up without hesitation. He knew exactly what he was doing and quickly became the go-to expert. Not just because of his skill, but also because of his generosity. He supported his peers with patience, kindness, and respect, helping them to troubleshoot and stay on task. His quiet confidence and willingness to step in made a difference for all of us. What I personally valued the most is the way Lucas and I worked through ideas together. He would come in with some creative or technical idea, often something totally outside my comfort zone, and we'd dive into it. We'd talk it through, bounce ideas back and forth, and figure things out. These moments were engaging, energizing, and really a big joy throughout my days. They reflect the way Lucas approaches the world, with curiosity, care, and a genuine love of learning. Lucas, your drive, creativity, and quiet generosity have left a deep and lasting mark on our school, and all of us that have been lucky enough to work with you. Over the years, it's been amazing to watch you build the confidence to take your brilliant ideas and run with them. I've grown as a teacher because of you, and I'll always be grateful for the time that we shared. You have the drive and vision to do something meaningful, and I can't wait to see where it leads. I now present to you Lucas Koza.
Hello, my name is Jim Harms, and I'm a language arts teacher at Shoreview, and I have the honor of speaking for Nicholas Kowalski. Two people in my life have called me James. One was my grandfather, the other was a former boss. Both of these men were my mentors and taught me a lot about life and myself. It's a privilege I afford to the very few. So you could understand my dismay when randomly throughout my school day I would hear, "Hello, James," coming from down the hall. I would look back and there was Nick with a big grin on his face, and I would say, "That's Mr. Harms to you." And his grin would get bigger as we passed each other. Nick would frequently ask me when he could call me James, and I would frequently say, "Mr. Harms for now." I understand this was Nick's way of interacting and making a connection. It didn't really bother me, but it did get me thinking, what traits did my grandfather and Stan have that made me look up to them and allowed me to accept them calling me James? And does Nick meet the criteria? My grandfather and Stan share a number of qualities that are important to me, but I will focus on three that Nick displayed throughout his time at LGA: determination, fairness, and a sense of duty. First, determination. Nick was a fierce worker. When I first met him in 9th grade, he was not a fan of language arts. I could barely keep him in the room. He was working hard on other things like regulation. Reading and writing was difficult and frustrating for him, but he never gave up. He worked hard by asking for help, trying new things, and utilizing the support that was given to him by his teachers and staff. All of this led Nick to achieve exemplary grades in language arts. Next is fairness. Nick is well liked at Lionsgate. Many students wanted to be around him, and I believe this is in part due to his sense of fairness. He was always speaking up in class or in the hallways when he believed something wasn't right or fair. This kind of consistency showed to his friends and teachers that he could be trusted. And lastly is the sense of duty. This quality is always on display from the way he progressed in school and his obligations at home. And this summer, Nick is going to embark on a new adventure. He is enlisted in the United States Marines and will be reporting to boot camp this summer in San Diego. Yeah! He's going to the infantry, about to becoming either an officer, in reconnaissance, or a warrant officer. And in fact, his journey will start shortly with a mini boot camp on June 6th and 7th. It is this sense of duty that Nick shares most with my favorite person, my grandfather, Sid. I always looked up to my grandfather because he did serve in World War II, and in fact, he was the same age Nick is now when he was in the war. It is a giant commitment that Nick does not take lightly, and I know this is going to be a challenge of a lifetime, but he is up for the challenge. Nick, you will be walking in the footsteps of many brave people before you, including my grandfather, and for that, I want to say thank you. Anyone willing to volunteer to protect my family and me, and everyone in this room, will always have my gratitude and admiration. So finally, Nick, I want you to know, you are now one of 3 people who has earned the right to call me James. And with that, it's my honor to present you to this.
Hello, I have no student. Carver Mallew couldn't be here tonight, but he has been a part of Lynx for over 5 years, so this is for him. I've been a part of Carver's Lynx journey since 2020. At first, he was full of words. He just wouldn't stop talking. We were distance learning at the time, and instead of looking at his face, I would stare at the ceiling, and at times just watch his cat just walk right on by the keyboard of his laptop. All while he is sitting and reading his science textbook word for word, or a dictionary. As the years went by, Carver became more reserved, more serious. Then he let his feelings be known by yelling language at his peers who would curse, or boo whenever music would play. Or he would giggle when sad trombone would play. Carver's smiles light up the entire room, and when he giggles, he can't contain his smile or his laughter. It is just so infectious that everyone around him will just giggle, which just makes him turn more red and smile and giggle even more. I will cherish all my memories of learning about water bears, Mario Kart Connects races, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, the Megalodon movies, all the various yoga poses, and of course, our flamingo hold competitions. I don't know Lynx without Carver. He has been a staple in our community. He provided comic relief even while being as stubborn as a mule. He provided a reprieve from the madness. It has become habit to search for him in the parking lot, red, orange sweater, for those of you who have seen him often, or to herd him in the halls, or to see his face, though it was always covered by his hair. Lynx will not be the same without him. We will all miss him greatly, and we hope the best for everything that he does and his future endeavors, and he will do amazing things. He's not here, but congratulations, Carver Mallieu.
Hey guys, my name is Dan Freeman. I'm the high school PE teacher at Shoreview. At Lionsgate, we're kind of famous for our use of acronyms and initialisms. You know, we got our CBIs, our IEPs, our OBIs, our PAWs, etc. You know, they go on and on. So Lucas, I decided on graduation day, I'm going to leave you with one last one, but this one is specifically for you. The first letter in my acronym is the letter L, and that stands for loyalty. You're consistently there for your friends, your family, especially your mother and your grandmother. You're what we call loyal to the soil. Then we got a U, and that stands for unique. You are one of one, my man. One of a kind, truly unlike anyone else. But that uniqueness is something you should be proud of. We got C for clever. You're clever with your words, your jokes, just as you are clever when you have to figure out a difficult task or a problem. You got A for authenticity. You're genuine and you're true to yourself. Never have I ever seen you change yourself to try to fit into a group. And we have S for strong-willed. You believe in yourself and are willing to see things to the end. A perfect example of that is on display right now as you stand here today on graduation day. Those words, loyalty, unique, clever, authenticity, strong-willed, were purposely chosen, not only because they exemplify who you are, but they're also the first letters of your name. I'm proud of you, Lucas, and I want you to go out into the world and show them all the great things that you're capable of. I now present to you, Lucas Paulson.
Don't boost his ego too much now. All right. Hello, my name is Ray Jubilin. I'm one of the EAs at Shoreview. I started Lionsgate 4 years ago with this young man right here, Jonathan Prenibus, aka J-Man. So, when I think about how I describe my friend here, the only thing that comes to mind is J-Man. There's not enough words to describe him. He is a totally unique and amazing guy. I don't think I would be the person I am today if I hadn't worked with you. I can't begin to tell you how proud I am of you and how much I'm going to miss seeing you around school. Now, when writing this speech, I thought about what I wanted to say to you, J-Man, as you graduate and move forward in life. How do I come up with a speech that's important? I figured I'd give you some good advice and a quick story. First, do not fear failure. It's an important tool that teaches us how we did wrong and how to improve. It's what leads us to success. When I was learning to drive around your age, it took me 7 attempts to pass my permit test and 4 attempts to get my license. However, I needed those failed attempts to learn how to become a good driver. And just like in your own life, you will need to fail at some things in order to succeed. But I have no doubts that you will succeed. It's okay to accept failure. I'm so very, very proud to present Jonathan Prenebost.
Good evening. I'm Sarah Stevens, and I'm one of the case managers here at Lionsgate, and I'm absolutely honored to be speaking for Erica this evening. When I sat down to write my speech, I was thinking I'd be able to come up with one word to describe Erica and build my speech around that. However, I was struggling to think of just one word that truly captured who Erica is and the incredible impact she's had on those around her. So I enlisted the help of the creative brains around me and what I like to call my Velcro kids in my resource room. They like to hang out. When I asked her peers, what's one word that comes to mind when you think of Erica, this is what they said. Creative, determined, fun, forgiving, and optimistic. And I think they absolutely nailed it. Even though I could stand up here all night and tell you why each one of those words describes who she is, I don't want the mic turned off on me for being up here all night. So instead I picked out a couple that stood out to me. The first being how creative Erica is. Erica is one of the most artistically creative students I've ever worked with. She's always drawing or designing something new. She even does drawing commissions and sells her art out of her home, running her own little small business. Talk about a go-getter. She's wildly talented, and it's noticed among everyone who knows her. In fact, you all get to see some of her talent here later this evening when the senior tiles presented to the graduating class. Seniors were asked to submit their design, and collectively the group chose Erica's design. I got to watch her pour her creative talents into her design, and I think she absolutely nailed it. She did an incredible job of highlighting Lionsgate while putting her own flair on the design, and I can't wait for you all to see it. How cool is it that her creativity gets to live at Lionsgate forever? The second word I would like to highlight is fun. Erica is extremely well liked by her and just about everyone she meets, and quickly found her friend group here, her first year at Lionsgate. She's always laughing with her friends and easily connects with just about anyone she encounters. She will often talk about the different concerts or conventions she goes to with her friends and her family, and would also venture to say the word fun came to mind for students when they thought of Erica, due to her ability to include anyone around her in just about every activity and make them feel welcome. She's a key component of our community and will be deeply missed by many next year. Erica, you are many things to many people, and a short list of words can't fully encompass who you are as a human, because you truly are someone special. While your time here at Lionsgate was not nearly long enough, you made an incredible impact. Whatever you choose to do in life, you're going to do with your own creative flair, and you're going to have fun doing it, because that's who you are. I'm so incredibly proud of you and everything you've overcome to stand on this stage today. It's my great honor to present Erica Ressler.
Buenas noches, familia de Lionsgate. Mi nombre es Yadira Guijarro y trabajo en el comedor de Lionsgate como servidora de comida. Sí, eso fue en español. Ahora voy a tratar en inglés. I'm gonna try in English. That was in Spanish. Good evening, Lionsgate family. I am Yadira Guijarro and I work in the lunchroom as a food server. I am honored to speak on behalf of a wonderful person and a great friend, Jerry. Jerry worked in the lunchroom, and that is how I got to know him. He is a great friend. When he worked there, his work area was always surrounded by his friends. They talked and laughed, and he said he would give them advice only if they ask. Otherwise, he will just listen. Jarek works hard. For the past years, he was attending school, working, and this year he was attending college, school, and working. Be proud, Jarek. Be proud of yourself. Being in the lunchroom, I have a lot of visitors. Students coming and asking for food or applesauce, and I'm so happy that I'm able to provide that. Many times, Jerry came to the kitchen window and he would say, Yadira, I have a question. He asked for milk or food. Then I said, Jerry, I have a great big question. And I asked him silly questions, I don't know, just silly questions. Once, I asked many questions to Jerry. And once I asked, Jerry, what great value would you like to pass on to the people around you? And this young man answered, patience. That got me thinking. And I said, wow. Well, Jared, thanks for being patient with me. Be patient with others. And most important, be patient with yourself. Another great value Jared showed me was compassion. During his time working, when he saw that I was tired or feeling down, he would offer help. He said that he would like to ask the principal to see if he could help me. And that brought a lot of joy into my heart. Patience, compassion, and I also see resilience in your everyday life. I'm so thankful again for the joy, the patience, the compassion, the resilience you show me. Thanks for sharing time with me. Jerry, I have a great big question for you. May I share some advice with you? Well, take care of number one. And who's number one, Jerry? Well, take care of number one. And number one is yourself. Ask yourself what you need and what will help you in life. And this expression my 18-year-old boy taught it to me, stay based. That means be yourself, believe in yourself, love yourself, and don't let other people change who you are. The other one is be thankful in all circumstances. Every day, find 10, 20, 100 things to be thankful for. Or just one, or two. Jerry, keep learning, keep trying, never give up, never lose hope, keep smiling. I wish you the best in life. I respect you, I admire you, I appreciate you. We are proud of you. And I am proud to present Jerry Rachta.
Hi, I'm going to speak on behalf of Ethan Spencer, impromptu tonight. Ethan Spencer spent a lot of the last year doing learning from home. I'm guessing that's why Ethan originally opted to not have anyone speak for him tonight. When you're here tonight and you hear about everyone's amazing things that they've accomplished and the experiences they've had at Lionsgate. I looked at Ethan about 2 minutes ago, and I thought, I cannot let this night go by without sharing the amazing things that Ethan brought to Lionsgate. So I checked in with Ethan, and he said, you got it. So the most notable thing about Ethan is the most amazing brain I have ever met. When you were a sophomore, right? Sophomore year? Sophomore year, finished two? Yes, just two of you. It was just two of us in a class, or two, it was Iris and it was Ethan and it was me. And it was the best Spanish class I've ever had because of Ethan. Ethan basically was able to guide our learning every day because of the questions that he asked. We learned more that year than I thought was even possible. Every day that we got to class, we would start talking about something, and then he would ask a question about why it was the way it was. We would go a certain way, we would learn this and that, and by the end of the year, his knowledge of Spanish was absolutely fantastic. We have missed him a lot in class this last year, a lot. And we hope that your future is everything that you want it to be. Keep asking those questions because it will give you everything that you want. I don't know, super impromptu, so I'm not the greatest at conclusions, but we love you and we care about you, and you brought amazing things to Lionsgate, so thank you so much.
Hello again. I get to speak on behalf of Jonas Tripp. I've had the pleasure of teaching Jonas for 2 years in social studies. Many students at Lionsgate have high interest areas. Jonas delved deeply into an array of subjects. Jonas has a thirst for knowledge, which led to developing many trivia-type games in original Jeopardy categories. These would routinely stump the class and me. Jonas is one of the most inquisitive students I have taught, making his own clothes to fit a culture or a character that he was particularly interested in. For months straight, he would bring flags with him into the classroom, including flagpoles of various countries and some of even his own inventions. It's so great to hear that you are following your passion by traveling to Reykjavik, Iceland this summer for modern Icelandic language and culture summer program. Jonas will be continuing classes at Century for a Fine Arts Associate's degree in Theater Arts this fall. I hope you'll continue focusing on things like costumes and prop design. Jonas is also a big fan of puns, in particularly a comic strip, Pearls Before Swine. Jonas has loved this great comic, which has a group of animals in 4 or 5 panels come up with elaborate puns. Oftentimes, the characters are violently angry at the author for the setup. And at one point, Jonas even went on a weekend road trip to a signing by the author. During any downtime during Mr. Belter's Pride or during class, Jonas would retell his peers about a pun he really enjoyed describing in specific detail about the comic. And normally, I would not suggest following Rat's example for life. However, I found that these words might be true to live by. Grant me the courage to change the things I can't accept, the serenity to accept the things I've changed, and the wisdom to know I'm different. I now present Jonah Tripp for graduation of Lionsgate.
Hello again, still Mallory Kosher, and I've had the pleasure of being Paige's teacher and Jenna's advisor for the past 6 years.
John Quincy Adams said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, become more, you are a leader. Don't cry. Paige, you are a leader who inspires. You inspire others by sharing your thirst for learning, soaking up information shared with you and seeking out new information from a variety of sources, both in class and during your free time. You inspire others by sharing your curiosity about the world, by creating presentations and videos about topics like the Maillard reaction and the gut-brain connection. You inspire others by modeling how to be an active listener who considers others' thoughts and feelings and also knows how to set personal boundaries. You inspire others to lead with kindness when you pause to answer questions for middle school students during student council meetings or in the hallway, by eagerly partnering with students in your classes and being welcoming to many. You inspire others to seize new opportunities as you demonstrated by your willingness to jump into the lead role partway through your rehearsals of The Wind in the Willows and then becoming Alice in Alice in Wonderland. You inspire others to make change in their community just as you did when you planned the Japan fundraiser and became our student council president. You inspire others to take good notes as you modeled every time we did a whole group brainstorm while enthusiastically writing on the classroom whiteboard. Paige, as you enter St. Kate's this next fall, take with you all these skills that you've used to inspire all of us at LGA. Continue to learn, be curious, listen, set good boundaries, be kind, seize new opportunities, make change in your community, and lastly, take good notes. I am excited to see where this next adventure leads you. It has been pure joy seeing you grow into a young adult. I now present Paige Weber.
Hello again. Matthew, the last person I spoke for, said I talk too much. Prepare for the same. I know you wouldn't. One day during the distance learning portion of the 2021 school year, I was sitting in the AM Pride Google Meet with another teacher at the end of the period, and we noticed that one of the newer students was still in the meet room, had not yet logged off to go log on to their first period class. And my colleague said, Matthew, Pride's over, time to go to class. And Matthew replied by singing the entirety of So Long and Thanks for All the Fish from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Thank you. After finishing the song, he unceremoniously exited the Google Meet room and went about his day, and that delightful little sliver of absurdity will stay with me my whole life. Matthew Wick was that student, and I am consistently impressed by his cleverness, creativity, and humor. Matthew has been a staple in our role-playing and collectible card game groups at school, and I was always happy to see him in the class I was subbing in, and even more happy when he actually was paying attention. Through his time here, Matthew has served on student council, made some strong friendships, and I know I am going to miss him dearly next year. Matthew, I truly believe that you have all the tools needed to have an incredible life that fulfills you. You are intelligent, kind, clever, and creative. The important thing, however, is using those tools and being aware enough to know when to use which tool. I have no doubt you'll find success in your life, but to do so, you'll need to make sure you're paying attention. It can be really easy to focus all of your energy into the short term, what is in front of us, what is enticing us, what is entertaining us right now, but to really get the most out of life, you need to keep your head up, your eyes open, and think about what steps you need to take to get you where you ultimately want to go. Do the hard things. Do the tedious things. Do the little things that don't seem like they matter right now, because those are the things that you can build a foundation of success upon. I am sure Many of my colleagues know the potential you possess and would love to see you meet that potential. And you can. I know you can, if you do the small things. So keep your head up, stay aware, do the work, and I have no doubt that you will have a good, successful life. And always remember that I and so many others believe in you. It is my pleasure to present 2025 graduate Matthew Wick.
Again, I'm Liz Benke. And last but certainly not least, we have Caitlin Zimmer. Caitlin and I started at LGA at the same time, almost 4 years ago. We were in the same homeroom together. And so I have had the privilege of seeing Caitlin blossom and bloom. The growth Caitlin has experienced in only 4 years is truly remarkable. I remember our first year and how she would shut down when things got tough. And now I have lost track of how many times Caitlin has advocated for herself and others. She knows who she is and isn't afraid to ask for it. She has grown into a, quote, sassy woman, those are her words, and never fails to make people laugh. Over the past 4 years, Caitlin has built a supportive community around her and deeply cares for her people. She's ready to listen and to help those who need it. She's driven and passionate and can do anything that she sets her mind to, from throwing pottery to performing in the school plays and more. I have a very hard time imagining what LGA will be like without Caitlin, but I know that she will succeed in all of her future endeavors. Finally, the class of 2025, Caitlin Zimmer.
All right, so we have another tradition besides our student speaker and tributes. And with guidance from our art staff, Mia Vanderhart and Amelia Fulton. Each senior class, as it was said before for Erica's tribute, was asked to submit a design that represented their class, and this design is completed by the seniors on a senior tile. These tiles are permanently placed in the ceiling in the student entrance hallway. This year's designer is Erica Ressler. Following students that helped complete this year's graduating glass ceiling tile, please stand. Erica Ressler. Leah Long. Armand Bagua. This is the result.
It's upside down.
And now to close our ceremony, it'd be Mr. Ryan Rich.
I am just so honored and privileged to be in front of you, the class of 2025. This is right up there watching my own son graduate 2 years ago, and that says a lot, so I'm so honored. Good evening, Lionsgate families, faculty, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. As I say farewell, I want to take this moment of celebration, reflection, and transition as we gather to honor your incredible achievements. To our extraordinary staff, I want to thank you again. So staff, Please stand up one more time and let's give them a great applause. You are the heartbeat of this institution. Your tireless dedication, passion for teaching, and the belief in each student's potential have created a school that not only educates minds, but also shapes lives for all students. To our parents and guardians, thank you for your trust, your partnership, and your presence. You've supported your child, our school, and this community with an unwavering commitment. Your role in this journey has been invaluable. And to our students, this is your moment. You've worked hard, grown immensely, and now stand ready to step into the future. Moving your tassel today isn't just a tradition, it's a symbol of everything you've achieved and all that lies ahead. Remember, you carry with you not only knowledge, but character, courage, and the spirit of Lionsgate. So now, graduates, please rise. With pride and purpose, move your tassel from right to left. You are now officially graduates of Lionsgate. Congratulations.
Nope, students stay standing. I feel as though there's a little wonkiness with throwing your caps. So how about we do this? 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we are going to have our graduates walk out. Matthew, thank you very much, up at our sound booth. If we could have family and friends wait until they exit into the commons area, and you guys can celebrate the rest of the night all night long. All right, congratulations.